Estuary News today, students celebrate success on GCSE Results Day and Hull FC on the road to Wembley. And our very own Fred brings us the latest from Hull 2017. Good afternoon, welcome to Estuary News this Thursday afternoon with Luke Adams. Students across the country have been receiving their GCSE results today. This year marks the first academic year in which the traditional A star to G grades are now replaced by scores of 9 to 1. The Academy Grimsby has revealed that 60% of students had gained good results in English and maths. 80% of students have achieved a merit to higher grade. Principal of the Academy, Paul Thundercliffe, says that whatever grade students may have achieved should be taken as a time of reflection.
I think for anybody now, what they've got to do is sit and think carefully about what they want to do. There's so much choice now with different providers, level 3 courses, A-level courses, even apprenticeships. So we're delighted that a lot of our students will be able to go and do the things that they want to do. For those that haven't quite made it, well, maybe they need to just change their thoughts a little bit. But I'm sure many providers will take in students that have done really well.
I think it's gone well. Yeah, I'm pleased with quite a lot of the grades I've got. I've got a 9, which I'm obviously very pleased with, especially with obviously the new system, the tests being a bit harder. But yeah, I think overall it's gone pretty well.
I'd say probably a bit happy that I've gone through it all to get these grades.
Yeah, it's a very different market now. You know, I think post 16. Once it was made compulsory anyway, that they've got students got to go somewhere, and I think if they've shown some attitude, I think a lot of colleges now will look at it and think, well, actually, with the new system, the new grading system, actually, have these students done as bad as it looks? And I don't think they have. And for me, the students that have worked really hard have done really well, and those that haven't, and that's generally how it goes. And for me, as a school, we're pleased with the effort and the responsibility that the majority of students have put in. I think for anybody now
have been handed 3-year football banning orders. It comes after their role in the violent disorder that followed Grimsby Town's away fixture at Chesterfield on the 5th of August. Wesley Hargreaves of Cleethorpes and Daniel Watt from Grimsby were also ordered to pay fines totalling over £1,000. Hull has been ranked as one of the best places to start up a business. The report from the online site startups.co.uk cites the city as a hotbed for green and renewable energy and having a low cost of living. They also state it's a great location to trade internationally. Hull was one of the 25 cities listed in the report. A recruitment drive's been set up to entice more overseas doctors to work in North East Lincolnshire. It's in response to a government plan to deal with a shortfall of staff in 11 areas across the country. GPs will need to have a good level of English. The pilot scheme has so far seen 26 new doctors recruited across Lincolnshire. Scunthorpe Central Library is set to receive a makeover. It's part of a £1 million project to transform it into a community hub. Work will start in November on a transformation of the building. Once completed, it will still serve as a library, but will house new services such as job and training opportunities and housing advice. The new facility will be operational by next spring. It's Thursday, which means it's time for a roundup of what's going on in the City of Culture now this week with our very own Fred, not Michelle.
No, indeed.
I'm not seeing things.
No,
it is really you.
It is me indeed. It's not Michelle, I'm afraid.
Fred, lovely to see you. Thank you for coming on the sofa and filling in Michelle's shoes.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Fred, what stories have you picked out?
Well, something that's caught my eye is something that's been teased to City of Culture fans these past couple of months, and it sounds nothing short of intriguing. It's called One Day Maybe, a new interactive theatre production that's taking place throughout September.
Okay.
Next month in City of Culture. It's an unmissable production, so it says, centering on the UK launch of a Korean global technology company on the 30th anniversary of the Korean 6th Republic.
Okay.
So already quite an ambitious sounding
Yes.
event. It's put on by a company called Dream Think Speak, and they specialise in creating art installations that utilise the actual venue as part of the art itself. So instead of being perhaps a regular art exhibition whereby you go into a venue and you see the art, the venue is the art. From the sound of it, it has all manners of interactive technology-based art that people are more than welcome to obviously have to buy
Sure.
a ticket, but also you go there when what seems to be small groups of people, and you just go explore the venue. And the venue itself is a multi-storey office complex in Hull, and apparently this place is going to be littered with this rather wondrous-sounding, technologically advanced art installation.
Well found, Fred.
Thank you.
Well found. Do we know exactly where that venue is?
We hasn't said yet, but you can find out more on the Hull 2017
Yes.
website, which
Yeah.
you find out more there. Hasn't been revealed yet, but I'm sure more will be said
Okay.
when you can get your hands on tickets.
And obviously it's a ticketed event, so there's a cost to it. And again, you can find out more details on the website.
You can indeed, yes.
Wonderful. I believe we have a spot of David Bowie.
Oh, we have indeed. Well, where you are a fan of Dusty, I do believe. I'm a bit
Yes.
of a fan of David Bowie. Well, earlier this year we had a supergroup called Holy Holy come play at the Hull City Hall. I believe it was April, May time. That's a band consisting of musicians who are both fans of Bowie's work, but also a certain couple of members who actually played with Bowie,
Okay.
Tony Visconti and Woody Woodmansey. They played a gig at Hull City Hall earlier this year, and now by popular demand they are coming back. On
Okay.
Tuesday, the 5th of December, they're going to be performing their show all over again, which includes the entirety of The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and The Spiders from Mars, that album in its entirety. They're going to play that on the night, and I can
Okay.
heartily recommend that it's a gig worth going to, because I was lucky enough to go to the gig, the first gig earlier this year.
Was it good?
Oh, it was fab.
Yeah.
It was so good to see, well, it's surreal perhaps, to see the last remaining Spider from Mars, Woody Woodmansey, because he is the last remaining Spider from Mars, unfortunately, and Tony Visconti, who brought life to not so much Ziggy Stardust, but The Man Who Sold the World, which many Bowie fans will tell you is very much a prototype of Ziggy, perhaps, and later on, Bowie's fantastic Berlin trilogy
Okay.
of albums, Low, Heroes and Lodger.
Okay. It sounds like you're a fan of David Bowie, Fred.
Just a bit, perhaps.
What's your favourite David Bowie track?
Oh,
Not necessarily from the album, but in general, what would you say? I mean, I know there's so many great ones.
Oh, there are. Perhaps the title track from Heroes. That's a
Okay,
safe one to have.
That's a very good one.
Otherwise, I'll just go on talking about my favourite tracks. I'll keep
A
it there.
good one to dance to is
Indeed,
David
yes.
Bowie's Let's Dance.
Oh, that as well, yes.
Aptly named, which I think was released in about 1981.
It was certainly after the 70s, after that kind of golden period where he's very chameleon type
Yeah.
extra. But yeah, in the early 80s, I think.
Okay, so you're going to get tickets to this.
I hope so,
And
if
report
they're still
back.
available, yes.
Excellent, Fred. Well chosen. Thank you very much indeed. See you soon.
Thank you, Luke.
Now here's Jack with the sport.
Hull FC plays today, boarded the coach for their Challenge Cup final at Wembley against Wigan Warriors. Hull will be looking to retain the trophy for their first time in their history. Mark Snade says it doesn't ever get any less special, and hopefully we can get the same result and enjoy the celebrations all over again. The majority of tickets were snapped up in the first week, but there is still a limited supply for the match on Saturday. Hull City have today confirmed the signing of midfielder John Terrell from Arsenal for an undisclosed fee. Terrell had been at the Emirates since 2011 and had been loaned to clubs such as Brentford, Granada and Birmingham City. He will wear the number 11 shirt and is available for selection against Bolton on Friday. It is also rumoured that Brentford have just rejected a bid from City for their midfielder Jota, but we'll bring more on this as it develops. Grimsby Town have been preparing for their first home match against Wycombe on Saturday, which will see the Mariners attempt to bounce back after 3 successive defeats. However, manager Russell Slade feels that the attitude of the players will be the key rather than the tactics.
Conscious change has nothing to do with the tactics. It's very much about, I think when you go into any game, whatever shape you play, whatever system you play, it's about your attitude. Attitude is absolutely massive. Our approach to the game, we knew we hadn't performed as a group on the Saturday. Very often you get 1 or 2 players that perhaps haven't quite performed to their level. On the Saturday we probably had 8, 9 players that hadn't got to the levels that we expected of them and they expected of themselves. On Tuesday, everybody got to that level that we required in terms of that attitude, commitment, believing in themselves and believing in each other and in what they were doing.
Meanwhile, at Scunthorpe, Graham Alexander has confirmed his interest in midfielder Josh Semedo. The former Sheffield United player is currently a free agent, but Alexander says he is a good player who has had a very good career so far. North Ferriby United will be entertaining Darlington on Saturday, with the villagers hoping to continue the good work after their win at Blythe Spartans last Saturday. Manager Steve Howsham says he hopes there will be a good turnout at the match. And that's all for the sport.
Thanks very much, Jack. That's it for today. As always, if you have a news story you think we should be covering, please get in touch in the usual ways. news@estuary.tv is the email address, or our news desk number 01472 31553. We look forward to hearing from you with any interesting news stories you may have. On tomorrow's programme, Joe Wood of Doggy Dilemmas joins me on the server to review the week's local press. Until tomorrow, from all of us on the team, have a great Thursday evening. Good afternoon.